Hi, Carolyn. Hello there. Sorry, a few technical difficulties, which I'll explain. Hi, Olga. Sorry, Olga. Sorry, Olga. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Karen. Hi, Karen. Hello there. Hi, Carol. I hope you can all hear me and see me okay. Can you all hear and see me okay? Hi, Hugh. Hello there. I'm just going out and back in. That's it. We'll practice tomorrow, Olga. Sorry. Hi, Alison. Hi, Becky. Bonjour, Jeanette. Hi, Deb. Did you set your alarm, Deb? And I'm late. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Chris. Hi, Katrina. Hi, Kathy. And you got somebody saying hello to Olga as well. I'm back. Hi, Anne. Good afternoon, Kim. From a soggy... I'm very well, Kim. Are you? We see and hear perfectly. Brilliant. Okay. So I'll just wait for a few to join. Oh, wow. It's up to 77. I've got no numbers on my screen. Show us the birds. So I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. The lovely Olga was going to help me with the live, and we were going to do something really fancy, and Tracy couldn't sort it out because Tracy's a dimwit. Hi, AD. Hello there. Hi, Becky. So yes, we were going to do something really fancy because Olga's a whiz at technology. Tracy is not a whiz at technology. So Tracy needs a bit more practice. Good morning, Belinda. Hello, Carol. Hello, Maria. Hello there. Good afternoon, everybody. Sound and vision fine. Thank you, Diane. Hello, Karen. How are you? I'm very well, Anne. Are you? Expected you be on SteamYard. I was going to be on SteamYard, Jane, but I couldn't get it to work. So that was the whole point. We were going to be on SteamYard and we were going to do lots of fancy things. No, let me rephrase that. There's no we. Olga was going to do lots of fancy things, but Tracy couldn't get it to work. So I'm back to my usual way. Thanks, Diane. Oh, honestly, I'm dangerous when it comes to technology. Oh, I'm very well, Fiona. Very well. Just used to doing things a certain way, and then when I do something new, it takes a little bit of practice. It is an exciting week, isn't it? Still going strong, Karen. Oh, I'm very well. I knew you'd all be concerned if I didn't go live bang on time. I said to Olga, if I don't go live bang on time, they'll all think I've done a runner. Are you having dinner, Karen? Well, enjoy. My wrist's okay, Karen. It's just that bit there. When I stamp for so long, that bit there is really painful. Can you see the red patch? I've got a red patch there, and that bit hurts. Carolyn, my mum says hello. Hello, Carol. Oh, bless Carolyn. Say hello to Carol. Hello, Liz. Oh, bless. So much anticipation, and this dimwit can't make the software work. Listen, I can stamp. I just can't do software. Hello, Pat. Olga is like my personal trainer. She trains me on all things software, and she has her work cut out, poor Olga does. Yay, Linda, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Linda, and happy birthday to Lee as well. It really hurts, that does, Chris. It really hurts. People on the chat have no idea what I'm going. Honestly, Olga is trying to get me to move from the 15th century. I'm still way behind. I'm very upbeat, Diane. I am. Olga's going to play with you now. So Olga's like my educator. I think I've torn the ligaments because something went pop. Something went pop. I can do software, I cannot stamp. Bless Olga. We make a good pair, don't we, Olga? Yes, I'll be live, Karen. I will be live with the new release on TV. So what's happening is the whole celebration is to celebrate All and Create's 4th birthday. So we're celebrating All and Create's 4th birthday. So All and Create are 4 years old. I was glad for the delay. It meant I could finish a meeting. Oh, that's good then, Auntie Wendy. Hello, Carmen. Hello there. So yes, it's All and Create's 4th birthday. Yeah, she's super cool and crazy as well. She is, isn't she? So it's All and Create's 4th birthday, and Janet forgot. Was that my brain, Karen? Yes, it probably was actually. So it's All and Create's 4th birthday, and Abs is going to start off the celebrations this Wednesday. So Abs will be live on Wednesday with Olga's release, and he will be live at 6 o'clock on her channel with a 1-day special. So he kicks off the celebrations at 6 o'clock, and that's with Olga's release. And then on Friday, Abs is back, continuing with the 1-day special, and then he starts with Bipasha's Weekend Wow, with Bipasha's release. And then Tracy turns up at her chanda at 6 o'clock on Friday. Well, I hadn't better turn up at 6 o'clock, I better be early. So I turn up at her chanda on Friday, ready to start the shows at 6 o'clock on Friday with my 1-day special. So that's how the shows are planned. And then it doesn't end there. On Sunday, Leonie will be showcasing Janet's stamps. We're both on bread and water this week, so I'm ready for all the... Oh no, Carolyn, you can't put your mum on bread and water. You can't put your mum on bread and water, Carolyn. It'll be like the battles of the crafting gurus. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm useless at technology. So yes, so Leonie will be back on the Sunday, and she'll be showcasing the lovely Janet Klein's stamps. It all goes to pot when I arrive at a chanda and when I do anything live. I'm always getting days wrong. I will, Belinda. I'll keep myself safe. They're really good at a chanda. So it's a busy time, but Abs is there from Wednesday until Sunday. So I got Abs to do the Weekend Wow. So yes, so if you'd like to share the Facebook Live, that'd be much appreciated. And All and Create are offering a £10 voucher that you can spend on the shop online for a randomly drawn winner. So I will draw a random winner. After a couple of days, I will draw a winner. Hope you have Adam presenting. He was brilliant, wasn't he? I think I've got Yanis for my first shows. I always get Yanis for my first shows. He's lovely. I don't know whether I've got Adam this time. So I've got my new release. So we're going to start with the new release, and I wonder who the presenters will be. Please let I definitely got Yanis from a launch show. Yanis is lovely. He's so supportive. Bread, you must be rich. We're on water. No, you've got to eat. I don't want you all wasting away. You've got to eat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the stamp sets first. And then what I'm going to do is show some artwork. I'm going to show some artwork so that it gives you some ideas. Yanis dressing up as a carrot, can you imagine? I'm feeling poor already. So yes, so I'd just like to say a congratulations to all my teammates as well. I'd like to say congratulations to Olga, congratulations to Bipasha, and congratulations to Janet on their fantastic releases. I'd also like to say congratulations to Abs on his 4th birthday, 4 years. So that's a fantastic achievement. So congratulations to everybody. So thank you all. You can't place your orders now. So I'd just like to say congratulations to all my teammates. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to the design team. The design team have worked really hard in bringing and showcasing the designs and bringing them to life. So I do want to say a huge thank you to the design team, and a huge thank you to Anne Redfern, who's done some special samples for me. So thank you very much to Anne Redfern as well. So I have to say, this is my favourite release so far. I know you shouldn't have favourites, but I'm really chuffed with this. But I have to just spend a few minutes just explaining to you about the stamp releases. I hope you will indulge me while I just talk about the stamp releases a little bit. I'll be on high fibre diet and cardboard. No, Diane, you can't. I'll send you food packages. I'll send you food packages. So I just want to explain a little bit about the stamp sets. Now, Olga is the whiz at software. She really is a whiz at software. So me and Olga do a lot of work together. So I do need to say a huge thank you to Olga. So Olga is, she's just lovely. She's a nutcase, but she's lovely. And she really helps me with the software side. So I really want to say a huge thank you to Olga. So she's a dream to work with. So thank you, Olga. Right, so can we have faves? So what I'm going to do is just put these on one side. Yes, you did, Diane, you did. So I just want to talk about my A4 stamp set, which you can see is well loved already. Let me get some white card. Let me get some white paper. Let me get some white paper so you can see the stamp set. Hopefully you can see that side by side. Just so you can see that. All the best people are nuts. Oh, absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. So this is my A4 stamp set. Now, the idea behind this is, as normal, I want you to use it in a variety of ways. I want you to use it in lots of different ways. Now, my idea here is that I know some of you said that you wanted some designs that you can use for Christmas. This isn't designed with Christmas in mind. This is designed with autumn, and also it's designed so that you can use, let me just take this piece of paper. It's designed so that you can use the branches on its own as well. So that you can use the branch on its own, so that you don't just use one element. You can use this branch in many different ways. I was also thinking this could be used for Valentine's Day, because you could stamp this and then you could dangle a heart from the branch. So the idea is that you can use it in many different ways. I want you to think outside the box. But the detail is fantastic. I'm so pleased with it. I'm just so pleased with it. And it's just, the detail is fantastic. I'm showing you the white card initially, just so that you can see the detail, and then we'll look at the actual stamp. I'm not going to rush this Facebook Live. I want to go through them in detail. And I love these sentiments: wander without purpose, and there is beauty all around us. The idea is that when you've spent your hard-earned cash on previous designs, that these will all mix and match. It is perfect for Christmas, Chris, absolutely. So I just want you to use them with your other releases as well. Now, this stamp set here comes separately, and this works beautifully on its own. It would also work beautifully as a wreath that you could stamp images inside, so it would work beautifully on its own. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer to the actual stamp set so you can see these more clearly. Let's just look at the stamp sets. If I just put, you see, I haven't got it lined up. Let me just see which is the best way. Let me see if this is the best way to peel it off. Hang on. Let me just peel that off, just so you can see the acetate. So you can see the acetate. I just love the font. And let me take these off here, just so that you can see the acetate. just so you can see the detail. And then you can see the detail in the bird as well. Now that bird could be anything. Now what you need to do and what you need to know is some of the birds are hand drawn, some are ephemera, and we've also got some licensed little bits as well, just so that you know how they're all created. So I like you to know all what's involved in the way that I design my stamps. So as you can see, the pine cone is hand drawn as well. So it took a lot of time to get it right, but I'm absolutely thrilled with these. And hopefully you can see the detail in the little birds as well. Now these little elements here would be, you can use them on their own, or you can use them mixed in with the pine cone. So you can use them all together. And the idea is that this ephemera coordinates with all your other stamps. Oh, thank you. Exactly that. I love the font. I just love the font. So the font works beautifully with these as well. So the idea is that you mix and match these stamps. So don't forget, with these stamps, some are hand drawn, some are ephemera, and some are licensed. So it's just so that you know there's a mix of everything. They're all combined together. And the thing is, it took me and Olga a long time to make these look right. So it's just, I'm so thrilled with them. Just so that you know how those are all made. So we'll just put these to, you can see, let me just get, can you see the size of the stamp? Let me just get the birds, just so you can see the size of the stamps. The two separate stamps. So can you see there's two stamps here are also quite a good size as well, so that you realise that those are properly, they're a proper good size. Can you see my hand? They're a proper good size. So you can see that it's not a small size. It's not a small size at all. Just so that you know that you've got a lot of possibilities with the stamp sets. It's not, they're not designed with a one-trick pony. So each of the stamp sets, I have to be honest, Chris, I'm never going to be anything else. You have to be honest with the customers about how you've created your stamp sets. You have to be honest. Now, there's a lot of hand-drawn elements in here. A lot of hand-drawn elements. There are lots of ephemera, and there are bits of licensed imageries. There is no point lying about how you create your stamps. When a customer buys your stamps, you want a customer to buy your stamps honestly and with integrity. So that's the way I do my designs. Let me just show you the size of this stamp. I will show you some artwork as well. But look at the stamps. Look at the size of the stamp set. The stamp set, that one is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Bless you, Sue. Thank you. I just adore that. Now, I am going to take my time and show you the stamp sets, and I'm going to take my time and show you the artwork. The reason I'm taking my time is that whether you're going to buy one stamp set, no stamp sets, it doesn't matter. When you buy a stamp set of mine, I want you to buy a stamp set that you love. I want you to buy a stamp set that you're going to use. I don't want it sitting on the shelf. And that's why I'm going to take a little bit longer in showing you the stamps. Now, here is a stamp set I absolutely adore. This is an A5 stamp set. It's an A5 stamp set, and I love spending time with you, Belinda. But to be honest, I appreciate the followers, and I appreciate the followers wholeheartedly, because I know that some of these are a considered purchase, and I know that it's your hard-earned cash that you're spending on the designs. So I want to take time in giving you ideas for whether you buy one stamp set, no stamp sets, or all the sets. So I just want to make sure I take the time and just show you completely. Happy birthday, Lee. Happy birthday. We all said happy birthday to you. So this stamp set, let me just, this is well used and well loved. So this is well used and well loved stamp set. Let me just get this all out for you, just so that you can see the size of the stamp sets. So I'm just going to take these off the acetate so that you can see them. Does that work a bit better for you? I adore this one, Yvonne. Now, Olga, let me tell you a conversation with Olga about my stamp sets. This one here, I said to Olga, my bird has got to go on wheels. I love him on wheels. Olga thought I'd lost the plot. When I said I wanted a bird on wheels. But I adore this. This hand-drawn. So I just love that. So what you've got here is a hand-drawn element, and these wheels are licensed. So that is hand-drawn. And then you've got this licensed, the wheels. So isn't he fab? He's just fab. Just wonderful. I just think he is. I'm sorry, I think he's fantastic. And top hat, Olga, top hat. Sometimes Olga thinks I've lost the plot when I'm designing. And then I say, bear with me, Olga. I'm not totally nuts. Just bear with me. And I made the sentiment as well. Yes. Fly free. So these fonts I just adore. And this bird here is beautiful. I think the top hat's the icing on the cake, Chris. I think he's fab. And here we've got all this ephemera here, all the ephemera and all the backgrounds work with all your previous releases, But these birds would also go, again, with all your other releases. I just adore this. And this here, forget the bird and the sentiment. This here would work on its own as well. That would work on its own as well. Remember what we say in the workshops. Think about your stamps outside the box. Think outside the box. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. It means a lot. So just think outside the box. You can use this bit on its own. It's just lovely. Now, let me show you the size of the stamps. I can measure the stamps if you want me to measure them so that you know what you're spending your money on. So this is what you're getting. So you get these stamp sets here like so, just so you can see what you're getting. This is an A4 sheet of paper, so you can see what size that you're getting. It's, yes, very punk rock font, exactly. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm getting in touch with my age. So if you want to see the size, that gives you an idea of size. I'll just get a tape measure. What I want to do with this Facebook Live, what is written on the top stamp? On the top stamp, let me just bring this in. Let me move these stamps so you can see the top stamp, and I'll bring it up so you can see the top stamp. Let me just wait a few seconds. The idea, what I want to do here with this Facebook Live, we don't get time to do this on Hochanda. On Hochanda, we don't get time to look at everything in fine detail. So I want you to see what you're spending your money on so that you can see the detail. Let me turn these round so you can see the detail. It's all meant to also have a very vintage flair to it as well. It's not meant to be modern. It's meant to be quirky, vintage, but funky, if that makes sense. Just so you can see the detail. Just so you can see the sizes. Let me show you the sizes. So that you've got the sizes. So that one, the little sentiment at the top, the little background piece is about 5 inches in length, 5 inches in length. And then the bird is 4 inches from top to bottom, 4 inches from top to bottom. I think lives are important. As designers, it's important that we realise these are purchases and they're considered purchases, so you need to know what you're spending your money on. This one is over 5 1/4 inches. This one is 5 1/4 inches in width. You're always quirky. Oh, thank you, Anne. Thank you. So I also love this bird song font. This bird song here has been used on so many of my samples. I think it's important that I do this, Belinda. I think it's important that I do this. And also that, you know, I'm a crafter. I know what's involved in crafting. I know that, you know, it's a considered purchase, and I know that, you know, we want value for money. We also want quality. So it's important that we get all those things. So just so you can see that one last time before I show you samples, there you can see the detail. So I'll just get my next stamp set. Now this is an A5 stamp set, and the A5 stamp set is called Bird Song. A5 Bird Song. Yeah, 5x7, perfect, Karen. I love the fonts. I love the fonts. Right, so we're going to another A5 stamp set. We've got seven stamp sets in my one-day special. I will put the bundles together for you, how they will show on the one-day special and how they will show on the complete bundle. I will put them displayed on my desk so you can see what you're getting in the one-day special, and so that you can see what you get in the complete bundle. The complete bundle is obviously all the 7 sets. The complete bundle on the 16th and 17th, which is this Friday and Saturday, is all 7 sets. So this one is also A5. Now let me get rid of the plastic for you. I'm pulling all the stamp sets off so you can see exactly what you're getting. I think it's important to see exactly what you're getting. So let's put the acetate on here. And if I just lift this up a little bit at an angle, I adore this one. I adore this one. Now, if I just move along, Tracy, so people can see on camera. If you look at this here, this all in itself, without the bird, could be used as a background. Just that on its own could be used as a background. The idea is that these little extras coordinate with everything, and it could be used, you could make it work with your steampunk, your rusty, your wicker, your vintage. The idea is it will work with all those. But even these little elements here are important to me. These little tiny elements here are very important to me. And this font I use everywhere. I use the bird everywhere. It does look like it's made of wire, doesn't it, Jenny? Yes. And then if we bring in the stamp sets, let me just show you this one. Let me show you this one. These are real feathers that I took from my garden. These, I'm trying to, just bear with me a second, I'm trying to hold it at the right angle. These are real feathers from the garden. Real feathers from the garden. And this is a real branch from my garden. And yes, this is meant to be missing. It's meant to look vintage. It's meant to look vintage. I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for some vintage elements. So you get little bits missing like this. So it looks more vintage, looks more realistic. These little details are meant to be there. So you've got a little bit of the feather faded out. It's all meant to, those details are important to me, and that's why they're there. Even this little touch of text here, it's meant to be there. It's meant to look vintage. It's meant to look distressed. It's meant to look aged. So it doesn't look a lot on here, but this stamp set took us ages to get it right. And I don't mean days, I don't mean hours, I mean weeks. Exactly, Chris. But I want these birds to be something that's non-specific. The idea is that if you wanted this to be a tropical bird, it could be a tropical bird. If you want it to be a thrush, it can be a thrush. Whatever you want it to do. I want you to, when you're designing, I want you to pick up your stamps and I want you to be passionate about them. I don't want you to spend your money on my stamps if you're not going to use them. If you're not going to use them and you're going to leave them on the shelf, forget it. I'm not designing stamps for you to leave them on the shelf and gather dust. Forget it. If you're going to use them and you're going to love them and you're going to get enjoyment out of them, then that's what they're designed for. That's the whole point. You could use these feathers on their own. In fact, you could even use this part of your stamp set here. This part of your stamp set is designed specifically to be used on its own. I'm showing you now, Chris, I'll show you. I'm actually making a book already in preparation. It's already in preparation. I'm already creating a book for a workshop where we can use all the stamp sets from every single release during October and November. And the idea is that during the Christmas period, sort of in December time, that we all spend a week together creating this book. Obviously, if you want to, you don't have to. But I'm doing a workshop where we spend a week together in December, maybe keeping each other company because it's a difficult time for some people. So this is the idea, that we're going to create this book. We'll create this book and it will have all the images in. So we're going to create that over December sometime, just to keep each other company. I'm more vintage than you. Are you more vintage than me, Lorraine? So what I want to reiterate, because I can't reiterate this on Hochanda. On Hochanda, I can't sit there and waffle. When I'm on Hochanda, everything has to be a bit more speedy. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain to you what thought goes into these. I'm also explaining to you as a genuine designer, as somebody who is a crafter and somebody who also saves up their pennies for products. I know that, it takes a lot of hard work to pay for craft products. So I just want you to know that that's appreciated and the time and thought that goes into them. So this is your stamp set. Let me just put these stamp sets here so you can see the size. Just so you can see the size of these stamp sets. Let me show you the size. So what we've got here is we've got a stamp set that is around about 4¼ inches. 4¼ inches. Oh, bless you, Gayle. Oh, thank you, Chantal. Thank you. So this one is 4¼ inches in width, and this one is just over 5 inches in length. That one is just over 5 inches in length. And then you've got these little elements. Let me just ink those up so we can see them, because that is pretty useless. It's because I cleaned them for another project. So those are your smaller elements. Now, you could use this bird. The idea with this bird here is that you use it with your pine cone. It can sit in the branches. The idea is with this, you can use this with your Christmas elements or your non-Christmas elements. It's meant to be for both. Or if you want to do a project that's got that wicker vintage feel, then it gives you that vintage feel. And it's perfect for your smaller projects as well. So what I'm trying to do when I design a stamp set, when I sit there and I'm trying to think about what you do with your projects. What I'm trying to do is think, if you were making a card, if you were making a canvas, if you were making an ATC, if you were making an ATC coin. Nobody's more vintage or random than Tracy. Olga thinks I'm very random, which I am. It's one of our standard conversations is that I'm very random. And I am very random. Let me get these back in the right place. Or else when I go to a chanda, I'll lose bits and then we won't know what I'm doing. So let's put those back in place again. Just so that we've got those back in place. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask any questions. Let me put this out the way. So, oh, thank you, Karen. So, we've got an alphabet stamp set. Now, yes, I'm aware there are a lot of alphabet stamp sets out there. We love your random. I am very random. So, there are lots of alphabet stamp sets out there. I know that. And I know that as a designer. So why did I design an alphabet stamp set? I designed an alphabet stamp set because I wanted one that's true to my style, that's true to my taste, and that is true to working with my designs. So this is true to me. And what do I mean by true to me? What I mean by true to me is this. Let me just lift this up. What I mean by true to me is I wanted alphabets with little bits missing. It has to be proper vintage, little bits missing. If it's proper vintage, it isn't uniform. The V is thinner than the W because it's proper vintage. Proper vintage, part of the P is missing. Proper vintage, the H isn't uniform. I don't want a uniform letters. I'll measure that for you, Karen. I don't want uniform letters. I don't want uniform letters because that doesn't work with my stamp sets. I don't want uniform. So just to measure the letter M for Karen, let me just pick the letter M off there. Let me just ink that up just so that you can see that. And that letter M is, oh crikey, it's harder to do with the measure, is 1 1/4, just under 1 1/4 inches. Just under 1 1/4 inches. But when I show you the samples are what make it sing. It's when I show you the samples that you will see the difference. Little bits missing. Exactly, Fiona. But if I'm staying true to Tracy's style, I need you to understand the history and the point of my designing. I don't want to look like Olga. Olga doesn't want to look like me. I don't want to look like Bipasha. Bipasha doesn't want to look like me. I don't want to look like Janet, and Janet doesn't want to look like me. The idea is that you all bring something different to the table. That's the whole point. If I'm not going to be different and true to me, there's no point in me designing. There's no point in me looking like anybody else. So these little bits here, where you've got little bits missing, that's a Tracyism. This here is important to me. That's a Tracyism. These bits missing is what I want. It makes it unique. This T isn't as fat as that S. That S is fatter than the T. That is the whole point. It's not meant to be uniform. It's meant to be quirky. The M width. The M width is... oh, crikey. I need my measurements to be different. Hang on a minute. The M width is about an inch. An inch. No, Anne, my husband never bothers anyway. Oh, bless, Chris is ordering a new storage box. But I don't want you to think that I'm designing these products without you in mind. Without the customer, I don't exist. So without you and your support, I don't exist. So there's no point me sitting here and not explaining how my stamps are designed. If I'm not honest, have integrity, and share why I've designed them and show what inspires me, if I want you to buy into something, we have to realise that without the customer, this doesn't exist. So it's important that we realise that. So we'll just move that out the way. And what we've got now is we've got an A7 stamp set. Whoops. An A7 stamp set. Now that's useless, Tracy. Now A7 stamp sets are very important. A7 stamp sets give you variety. I don't know how long it takes to get to the States, to be honest, Colleen, but I do know that we're all on board, Hochanda, All and Create, we're all on board to get them out as fast as possible. We've put lots of things in place and we're working super hard. So yes, we're doing what we can. To be honest, Carol, I can't work any other way, Carol. I can't work any other way. I have to be honest, I have to have integrity, and I have to be genuine. And, at the end of the day, without those, there's no point me carrying on. I have to let you into how I design the stamps. I have to let you be part of that. And I have to be honest, full stop. So this A7 stamp is designed because I'm also thinking, let's be honest here, not everybody can afford to buy an A4 stamp set. Not everybody can afford to buy lots of stamp sets. So what I'm trying to do here is also create an A7 stamp set that gives you the same Tracy-ism in a smaller version. So if you can only afford one stamp set and you can only afford an A7 stamp set, I still want you to get a Tracy style. I still want you to get the Tracy-isms within the stamp sets. So what you've got here, if we bring this up, this stamp set, I can't pick it up. In this little A7 stamp set, for those of you that like all the stamp sets, it coordinates with everything. For those of you that can only afford one stamp set, I've got all these same elements, the background element, I've crammed in as much as I can in a little space. So therefore, you've got the background from ephemera. You've got the background from the ephemera. You've got a bird. You've got some background element. So if I bring this in so you can see that even if you can only afford an A7 stamp set, I don't want you to feel like you're missing out if you can only afford an A7 stamp set. The A7 stamp set is just as beautiful as the others. Let me just read a few messages. I'm afraid I might have the same idea. I missed what Shelley said then. So I just want you to realise that you've got as much detail in the little stamp set as you have in the big stamp sets. So just as much thought goes into these as it does with the A4. It takes just as much thought. It just takes as much thought. So let me bring this stamp set in for you and let's measure the stamp set. The stamp set, do you know, this makes my eyes go funny when I'm measuring this stamp set, is 3 1/4 inches. That stamp set from top to bottom is 3 1/4 inches. And you could also use bits of the music sheet. You could use bits of the music sheet in the background to add to your background elements. So don't, if you can only afford an A7 stamp set, you can still do beautiful projects with your A7 stamp set. you're not missing out in any way. You can still do beautiful projects with an A7 stamp set. Width, I do beg your pardon, Chris, width. Let's get the proper stamps so we don't measure the plastic. The width is 2.5 inches, Chris. 2.5 inches, just a couple of notches over, because the 2.5 inches is here and it's just a couple of notches over 2.5 inches. So you could use them for Christmas. Just imagine doing your Easter cards. Why not do an Easter egg? You could, you know those Easter eggs that you get, those polystyrene Easter eggs that you get? Think outside the box. Do you know those polystyrene Easter eggs that you get? Imagine all the birds stamped for Easter. It doesn't have to be about one time of the year. ATCs, oh, of course, Chris, 2.5. Yes, it's just a smidgen over 2.5. So you'd fit him on an ATC perfectly. He'd fit on an ACT 2.5 by 3.5 perfectly. He'd work perfectly. That's already thought of, Chris, for ATCs. It's already thought of for ATCs. We already measure that for ATCs. I've already stamped him on an ATC and he looks beautiful. So now we've got a background stamp. And I've got to say, this I'm going to bore you senseless with. I am going to bore you senseless with this stamp set. So whenever we're doing workshops or we're doing Facebook Lives, this is going to bore you. So I'm warning you now, I'm going to be going over the top about this stamp set because I can't stop using it. It's a little A7 stamp set, but my goodness, is it useful. This stamp set is so, look at the state of it already. I mean, it's covered in ink. This stamp set is so useful. It's one of those stamp sets that can either be used standalone or in lots of many projects. Now, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to think of those ladies and gentlemen who also want to start stamping and want to get into stamping but want a background stamp but can't afford the bigger stamps. So that's why I've created an A7 stamp set. So the A7 stamp set has got lots of beautiful detail. It's got some ephemera in the background. I've put this little vintage word here. Ask me how many times I've stamped that vintage word on every project. Just that vintage word. It's got some ephemera here for you. And these numbers here stamp beautifully. Yes, Karen. So these numbers stamp beautifully here. Absolutely beautifully. So I will measure the stamp set for you so that you've got the measurements. The stamp set from here to this point here are 3.25. 3.25 inches in width. And from top to bottom, it is 2.75 inches. So it's 3.5 inches at the widest point there. And at the widest point here, 2.75 inches. To be honest, Jill, I have to agree with you, Jill. I think this is a classic. It's one of them stamp sets that is worth every penny as far as I'm concerned. And that's not me doing a sales pitch. That's me being a crafter. That's me being a genuine crafter who uses the products. And that I just use all the time. I adore it. I will pick all the stamp sets up in a second and show you what the bundles will be. Now, I did another background stamp set because you've got a lot of focal images that you've bought over the years. So All in Create have been going for 4 years, and there's lots of stamp sets that I still use them, Belinda. I still want you to pick up your old stamp sets. Don't neglect them. And this stamp set has your older stamp sets in mind. The idea, let me just put these stamp sets out. The idea of this stamp set is if you can only afford this stamp set, it will work with every other stamp set that you've got. So we'll just put those out and we'll just put this acetate on, just so you can see the detail. No, it never leaves mine either, Belinda. I love it. At least I'm not the oldest. I adore this. But you know that I've always said I love backgrounds. You've known that from the beginning. You know that even when I started with All and Create 4 years ago, I've always loved background. Oh, I don't want straight lines, Helen. When Olga says I'm random, Helen, she always knows that I'm not very into too many straight lines. She knows that I'm not into that. So let me just measure these stamp sets for you. So let's measure this one here. So this stamp set, let's measure the length. That one is 3 1/4 inches in length. So that one is 3 1/4 inches in length. 3 1/4 inches in length. And the postmark one, which has been used, it's just finer detail. That one is also 3 1/4 inches in length. 3 1/4 inches in length. So if I just hold it up slightly, so let me pick this up so you can see the detail in that postmark. Can you see the fine detail in that postmark? Lots of lovely little detail. If I just hold it up, if I can get the camera angle properly, you can see lots of little detail in that postmark. And if I just scan up a bit, you can then just see the detail in the other stamp sets. Just so you can see the detail. I want you to realise that I do try to think about the stamp sets. The postmark one is also 3 1/4 inches in width. Yes, all individual, but they're all individual so you can go like this. That's why they're individual. They're individual so you can go like that. That's why they're individual. So you can do that if you want to do that. And you can also get precise if you want precise. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them in the bundles for you. So I hope I'm not boring you. They do stamp beautifully, Chris. So I hope I'm not boring you by going into too much detail. Exactly, Belinda. It's nice to stamp randomly without a block. I've got some artwork for you as well to inspire. So let me show you how the stamps are going to be sold on Hochanda. So let me show you how the stamps are going to be sold on Hochanda. Let me just get these right. Where's my little bird? Oh yes, sniffing heaven. I shouldn't recommend people to sniff, but yes, sniffing heaven. Okay. So this is your 1 day special. Your 1 day special. What I'm trying to do with this Facebook Live is I can't go into loads of detail when I'm on Hochanda. When I'm on Hochanda, to be fair to Hochanda, they've also got a job to do. So I'm trying to answer all your questions here in case I miss anything on Hochanda. And that's why I've asked if you can share the video, just so that those that buy the stamps understand why I designed the stamps. And obviously this is how I earn my living. But please know I've got integrity and I will always be genuine with you and I will always be honest. So this is your 1 day special, okay? This is your 1 day special. You've got the pine cone, the alphabet and the 2 backgrounds. That's your 1 day special, okay? So that will be advertised as your 1 day special. And then your so when a Yanis comes on, he will state that that is your 1 day special. So that's your 1 day special. And then your second bundle will be this, okay? Your second bundle will be the birds, okay? Now, if funds allow, and you purchase the complete bundle, then you get a free stamp set. Now, this free stamp set is not just like chucked together. I designed this stamp set at the same time as I designed these, so that I'm giving you a genuine giveaway, not something that I just chucked together. So if you purchase the complete bundle, you get this free of charge as long as stocks last. So this is an A6 stamp set, so it's $11.99, and I designed this specifically as the free giveaway. I didn't just chuck this together, this was designed at the same time. So if you buy the complete bundle, this is what you get free. Now, if you buy any purchase on the show, you get a little bird stamp set, which is A7. I haven't got that one at the moment. It was missed in the post. It's a little A7 stamp set with a nest. You get that with any purchase. But if you purchase the complete bundle, you get this one. And again, just let me reiterate, it is meant to have these little areas missing. And you should be able to answer that question, why I've done it yourself. That is meant to go with the alphabet stamp set. Correctly. Exactly. I'm trying to get you to get into my head so that you understand why I've designed it. That is meant to be missing. It's meant to be missing. So that is what you get if you order the complete bundle. Now, as a designer, I understand that the complete bundle is a considered purchase. I understand that. But please note, this is what I do. You know, I'm just showing you what's in the complete bundle. That's all I'm doing. So the complete bundle is all 7 stamp sets. Do you get the mini bird one and the one you were showing if you buy the complete bundle? No, if you buy the complete bundle, you just get the $11.99 stamp set. If you buy, say, just the 1 day special, you get the little A7 stamp set. Or if you buy anything else on the show, you get the A7 stamp sets while stocks last. Has your head got enough room for all? You're welcome anytime, Gina, anytime. So if you buy, say you buy the 1 day special, then you will get the so you will get a free gift with any purchase on the show. So you'll get the little A7 stamp set. Yes, they will, Jennifer. Yes, they will. There will be offers on Hochanda. There will be offers. But unfortunately, as a designer, that's not my business. That's Hochanda's and All and Create's business. I'm just being honest with you. As a designer, I design. I don't do the business side. I just design. I give you what information I can give you at the time. If I was party to the bundle deal, I would let you know what the bundle deal is. But unfortunately, I don't know what the bundle deal is. That's up to Hochanda. But Hochanda will do a good deal. They will definitely do a good deal. So let me show you some artwork. But I want you to know that sometimes I know when you get giveaways, you get a naff giveaway. I've been a shopper. I'm a shopper. I shop for crafts. This is a proper giveaway. My washi tapes will be available in November. On my shows in November, my washi tapes. But obviously, I will make sure that washi tapes will also coordinate with what you buy in October. So don't worry, I've already got that in mind. Yes, the washi tapes will be available in November. But they will be available in November. But I want you to realise that this was designed at the same time as these were designed. It wasn't designed as an off-the-cuff thing. It was designed with these stamps in mind. I think I missed when the show was given on Hochanda. I will be on Hochanda, Karen, on the 16th and 17th of October, which is this Friday and this Saturday. My shows start at 6 p.m. this Friday, and abs will be on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Tracy's just there Friday and Saturday. They couldn't cope with me for 5 days. It would do their head in. Let me get some artwork for you. So, these are a couple of demo samples that I will be demoing for you. Thanks, Alison. So, these are a couple that I will be demoing for you. He hasn't said anything to me yet, Belinda, no, but I know he's working on it. But these are a couple of samples that I will be demoing. So, I hope I'm not ruining the surprises for you, but I just want to make sure that you've got as much information as I can possibly give you. So this is one of my first samples. So this uses the part. Let me get the stamp sets. So this uses the pine cone. Okay, so you've got the pine cone here. And can you see this stamp set in the background? The stamp set in the background. I'm just so pleased. So, to be honest, I just wanted you to have as much information as possible. Can you see that there is in the background? I was going to ask anybody if they wanted any card classes, but what I'm trying to do, Chris, is I don't want to overpower everybody with my workshops. I don't want people to think that I'm becoming a cash cow. I don't want people to think that I'm putting too many workshops out there. I'm very aware that obviously there are only so many funds and there is only so much money, so I don't want to be too presumptuous and put too many workshops out there. I want to inspire you as much as possible. Obviously, these will be demoed on Hochanda, but if you want to create these as part of a workshop plus more, then that is absolutely fine. But I wanted to show you that you can use your background elements as well in your cards. And your cards can be pieces of artwork. They don't, I just need to warn you, I hope you don't mind, my demos on Hochanda are going to be a little bit more long-winded. They're going to be a little bit more long-winded. The reason being, I'm struggling with my hand, and also I want to show Hochanda, and I also want to show Hochanda viewers that it's not all about rushing the projects. So my projects are going to be a little bit long-winded. So I want you to realise they're going to be a little bit more long-winded. So I hope that isn't going to be too much of a problem for you. So they are going to be a little bit more long-winded. What have you used the spark? You'll have to wait for the shows. You'll have to wait. I've got to keep some surprises for you. So this is one sample. And what I've tried to do is create you a couple of samples that will coordinate. Look at the bird. Now, the bird's got nothing to do with Christmas. The bird's got nothing to do with Christmas. But I have made it Christmas. So my hand hurts a little bit, but it's okay, Jennifer. So my projects are going to be a little bit more detailed. I fell down the stairs, Lee. I fell down the stairs. But I just look at that bird. I just think he's lovely. Now, let me just point out, look at that stamp set again. Can you see that stamp set again? Correct, Deb, yes. Can you see this stamp set again? It's going to be used on everything. It's going to be used on everything. But what I want us to do, what I'm trying to do with my stamp sets, let's be honest, what I'm trying to do with my stamp sets, I'm trying to be a little bit different from the other designers. I'm trying to be a little bit different from Tim Holtz, Paper Artsy, Carabelle. I'm trying to be a little bit different. What I'm trying to do for my designs, I'm trying to build up a community. I'm trying to build up a community where we work together in developing our skills. I still have a lot to learn. So I've been doing it for 25 years and I still have a lot to learn. And what I want to do with my designs is I want to build up a community where we help each other. We help each other to develop. We all grow as artists together. Artists, creatives, crafters, whatever you call yourself. I want us to grow together. I don't us... Yes, I did, all the way down, Lee. I want us to grow together. And that means that we all learn together. And that means that we make mistakes together. We develop together. We grow together. And I really want us to work on this together. It's not something I want to do alone. And to be honest, I can't do it alone. But I want to be different from the other designers. I don't want to copy what somebody else is doing. So I'm trying to put a lot of effort into workshops, into stamp designs, into samples. We all do the same techniques, but I'm trying to be a little bit different, even if it's just in a small way. Even if it's just in a small way. So that's what I'm trying to develop. So I'll be demoing those on Hochanda. But what you need to do is if I demo something on Hochanda and you do want it as a workshop, let me know, because I won't do everything as a workshop because I don't want to become a cash cow. So that's 2. So then we've got this one, which this is going to be a workshop. Love the tiny cones. I got them off the floor. So this is definitely a workshop, mainly because I was super chuffed with it. I'm going to turn it over slowly. This is the alphabet that I just adore. These are workshops. But can you see the alphabet is not meant to be perfect? And I'm just going to be really childlike now. I'm going to be really childlike, but I was so chuffed with this. So chuffed. Now, can you see in the background? This is part of the alphabet in the background. We've got parts of the alphabet. But when you use it and when you do the workshop, you will see it. So this is a workshop, this one. And this one takes place towards the end of November. And it's all advertised in my group. So if you want to see the workshops, if anybody's around and doesn't mind sharing my group link, if you can put my group link on the Facebook Live, then you can join the group. But you remember when I said this vintage word is used on everything? This little vintage word is used on everything. I don't lie. That vintage word is there. Exactly. Go to your Morrison's car park and find them off the floor. But so you can see that vintage word is there. No, I'm using it. Hang on, I'm just waiting for my camera to catch up. Down a bit, Tracy, down a bit. Come down a bit. That's it. So you can see the vintage word there. And the vintage word is here as well. I'm just chuffed. Do you ever get like that when you do a project and you think, oh, I'm really chuffed with that? And can you see the bird? Just so you can see the detail in the bird. No rush, Jennifer, no rush. These workshops will be available even if you do them in a year's time. But I just love the detail on the bird. It's a Tracyism. Exactly, Deb. You're getting to know me. Oh, bless. Do you want me to send you some, Jill? I'll send you some. Just message me later to remind me, Jill. I'll send you some. So I love the detail in the little bird here. And the fly. I'm so proud of these little texts. And can you see I've even got a little bit of the leaf stamped here from the A4 stamp set. Just so you can see these little details. If you want me to send you some, Jill, just message me. I think I've got a couple I can spare. And just so you can see the little birds as well. And I'm going through these slowly because I can't do this on her Chanda. You're very welcome, Jill. I can't do this on her Chanda, so that's why I'm doing it really slowly. So you can see the detail of the workshop. And there may be techniques you've all done before, but the workshops are about spending time together. The workshops are also about using your product. Use your product. There's those numbers again. Can you see those numbers again? We just love those numbers. Just stamped everywhere. Just love those numbers. And then we've got these feathers on the other bird. Crackling campfire and broken china. But yes, just gives you an idea of what we'll be making on the workshop. So if you want to do this workshop, you can message me, and that's in my group. So that's another sample. I have 2 acres of pine cones. Oh, bless Deb. So that's one sample. This is another sample. And again, this is another card that I will be making on her Chanda. This is another card that I'll be making on her Chanda. Yeah, that's an offer, Deb, yeah. So this is another sample that I'll be making on a Chanda. So this is going to be my first demo. This is going to be my first demo. So this will be the first demo on a Chanda. And what I want, my first demo, even though I will repeat myself, I do apologise if on her Chanda I repeat myself. So I apologise for that now if there's some repetition. So there will be some repetition because there's viewers that don't know who I am and have never met Tracy Evans. So there will be some repetition. So I do apologise now. So this is my first demo, but this shows you that you can use your pine cone with your bird, with your alphabet, with your backgrounds. So just so that you can see that. I've used all the stamp sets on that sample. And I just love it. I just love that sample. I know it's a bit weird liking your own samples, isn't it? But I'm really chuffed with that sample. I'm really chuffed with that sample. And then don't forget the inside. And then you can stamp the inside. Tracy. I've got to not think that, Chris, or else I'm going to end up saying I'm known as Tracy. So, and that's the bird on the inside. How can anyone not know Hey, I'm not Tim Olds. There's quite a few that don't know who I am. So that is another sample for you, just to show what you can do with your stamp sets. And I'll just get some more. I won't keep you much longer. This is another sample that I'll be demoing on her Chanda. And again, we could do this. This is going to be part of the book that I'm creating for December. So this will be part of the big book that I'm creating for December. So as you can see, this uses all the birds and it uses the background stamps. So this is going to be part of the book in December. But it'll be inside the book. But I'm demoing this on her Chanda because I'll be running out of ideas if I carry on. But I'm demoing this on her Chanda. It was Distress Oxides, not just Distress. Oh, that's a different workshop. Yes, Distress Oxides. So this is also a sample. And then the backgrounds, just so you can see the alphabet. Can you see how beautiful that alphabet stamps? Can you see how beautiful that is? Now, the book workshop is going to be for a week. It's going to be over a whole week, the book workshop. It'll be a whole week. So I just need to decide on the dates for the book one. But I have got the little one booked. So this is going to be another demo. But I'm trying to give you some ideas if you end up buying the stamps. if you end up buying the stamps, just so that you know. And then here is another sample for you. Another sample, just so that you can see those background alphabet. Doesn't the alphabet look fab? Look at the alphabet. Just because it's an alphabet doesn't mean it can't be a background. Like a retreat, Chris, yes, it's going to be for a whole week. It's Monday to, well, it'll be over a whole week anyway, 5 days. Just so that we spend some time together. When, I haven't decided when, it's going to be in December. I'll get dates up as soon as possible, but I need to finish the book. I haven't finished the book yet. So the alphabet looks fab in the background as well. And then, just to make the card look a little bit different, on the inside, who says you have to stamp the birds in black? You don't have to stamp the words in black. They don't have to be in black. Not everything has to be in black. This will also be part of the book. This will also be part of the book, this page. This will also part of the book. So yes, that will also be part of the book. With the week workshop, Belinda, I may be doing the week workshop, the one that's for the whole week, later in the day, later in the days for the week one, in the December one, just so that those in America have a chance of joining in. So I may be doing those later in the day, but I will ask everybody first. So this is just to show you that it doesn't have to be in black. My boss wants me to book time off for December. I'll try and get the dates for you pretty quick, but I need to finish the book first. So that's to show that just because I've stamped it in black doesn't mean it has to be in black. But the big book that I'm doing will be later in the day. So it'll be sort of like 3 o'clock in the afternoon every day for 5 days. But it'll be a 5-day workshop. But the cheapest I can make it is £30 for a 5-day workshop. So I hope that's okay. So the 5-day workshop will be £30, but that'll be for 5 days. We'll start around about 3 o'clock and it will be sort of 2.5 hours every day, just so that we keep each other company. Just so that we can keep each other company. So I will make that later in the day so that the ladies from America and everywhere can join in. But I'm trying not to just, talk about, buying things all the time. I want to have some integrity. So I am aware that I've done a lot of workshops. So I am aware of that. So that's another sample. And then I've got 2 more samples to show you. This is going to be the book workshop, and the book is going to have these pieces inside the book with other pieces as well. So you're going to create a book like this, which is around about 4.5 by 6.5. So you're going to create a book like this, and what you're going to do is you're going to create all the inside elements that go inside. So you're going to then do all these bits on the inside. So I want it to be a bargain because for me, this December workshop, 3 o'clock is school pickup time. So what about if I make it 4 o'clock then? If I make the start time 4 o'clock for the week class, 4 o'clock. So if I make it 4 o'clock, would you have time to start then? I can't make it too late because obviously I have to think about my family as well. So if 4 o'clock would be okay. So the idea is that this book, right, I will make the Christmas workshop. The idea of that workshop is that we're thinking about vulnerable people. We're thinking about vulnerable people and we're spending some time together. And that's why I want to make the workshop £30 for 4 days, because not everybody can afford. So what I want to do is create this book, and what you're going to do in this book, the book will take 5 days. 5 days, Karen, and it will be about 2.5 hours every day. So 4 o'clock until 6:30. So it'll be 4 o'clock until 6:30 every day. I just haven't decided on the days. So it'll be 4 o'clock until 6:30 every day. It'll be £30, and the idea is that you'll create this book. You will have elements inside the book that will be like this, and we'll have pages like this, and we'll have flaps and tucks as well. And it should be working at that time, and shouldn't be. Yeah, so 4 o'clock it will be. 4 o'clock, Belinda. Oh, £30, great present idea for family. Oh, Deb, that's lovely. Thank you. So, yes, so that's what I plan for December, but I've still got pages to do. So I do apologise. That isn't finished. 2.5 hours a day. Yes, Karen. So I do apologise. That isn't finished yet. That book isn't, because I've had to do samples for her Chanda. So that isn't quite finished. It's got to have lots of pages. So I want it to be value for money. Now, these are also a workshop that's already scheduled. These are a workshop that are already scheduled. Now, this workshop is over 4 days. I'm trying to decide whether 5 or 7 days, Jane. I'm just thinking about it, Jane, because I want it to be a get-together for those that feel vulnerable at this time of year. So I'm trying to think whether 5 or 7. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to think 5 or 7. But just give me some time to think. So this one is called, this workshop is called Things with Wings. This workshop is called Things with Wings. And the idea is this is a 4-day workshop. This is a 4-day workshop. 5 days, brilliant. Okay, 5 days it's going to be. So this workshop is over 4 days. It's the 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th of November. This is why I didn't want to. It's all right, Belinda. This is why I didn't want to add too many more workshops, because I've already added a couple, and I didn't want it to look greedy. So this workshop is on the 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th of November. It's over 4 days and it starts at 10 a.m. What is 5 or 7? Oh, it's days of the week, Chris. How many days I do the Christmas. Whether I do it for 5 days or 7 days, but it's going to be 5 days. Yes, it will be on YouTube, Liz. Yes, it will. So this is the 4-day workshop, and nice sturdy piece, and they're on the Tim Holtz tags. Days of the December class. Thank you, June. So this is a 4-day class. And this will be done at a nice steady pace. There's lots of layers and it uses all the stamps. If you can see, you've got the A4 stamp set here. It uses all the stamps. So the idea is that it gives something different. So I'm just doing these because I've had lots of ladies who said they want to do pieces like this that are also different from the book ones. Oh, thank you, Chris. And this, you will also create this piece at the same time during the 4 days. So you will create both pieces. You will create both pieces at the same time. So I'll just hold those up just so that you can see them. Just so you can see some of the detail. I never thought of doing gift vouchers. The thing with wings, it's 4 days and it's £25. It's 4 days for £25. So this is why I didn't want to add any more workshops, because I don't want it to get too much, that's all. But this is the Things with Wings workshop. And the idea of this is whether you buy one stamp set, no stamp sets, or all the stamp sets, you can use whatever you want. You can use whatever you want. Don't feel pressurised. You don't have to feel pressurised. I will do these workshops with 1 attendee or 20 attendees or 100 attendees. I will still do the workshop even if there is only 1 person. These are the medium tags. I'll measure them for you. These are 12 inches by just over 6.5. So 12 inches by 6.5, those are. And somebody wanted me to measure this. It was Catherine. It was Catherine wanted me to measure that. And that is 8.25 by 3.5. So yes, they're quite big pieces. So no meeting families outside. Well, you know, it's important that you realise, obviously, yes, I'm doing this because this is how I earn my living. But I don't want anybody to feel ever pressurised in buying product or anything. You can use what you have. No problem, Belinda. Lovely to see you, Belinda. I've now finished, actually, anyway. I've now finished. But these are the last samples that I was going to show you. The reason I'm doing the samples and I do the workshops is I want to make sure that you work and you use your stamps. That doesn't matter to me whether it's the old stamps, the new stamps, whatever stamps. So it doesn't matter to me which stamp set you use. You can use whatever you want. I'm not bothered. It makes no difference. So, you know, it doesn't matter to me, you know, either way. So those are my last samples. So I hope you liked them. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions about workshops, one-day specials? Yes, of course you can, Lee. Of course you can. Absolutely, because we cut out the paper anyway first and attach them. So yes. Thank you. So does anybody have any questions about the one-day special, giveaways? All in Create are offering a £10 voucher for a randomly drawn winner from this Facebook Live, which I will draw in a few days for you to spend at their stall. And I will draw a random winner after a couple of days. Thank you, Belinda. You're very welcome, Karen. So it all starts on the 14th and I'm there on the 16th. I'm there on the 16th of October. Oh, bless you, Deb. Bless you, Deb. I'm very well, Deb. Apart from that bit there, it's really driving me mad. It sounds ridiculous, but can you see that tiny area there? It's so painful. Where can you get the book for the book workshop? We're making it, Anne. We're making it. We're making it all. We're making it. You don't need to buy a book, Anne. These are the two workshops. So these are the two workshops that I've got out already. This is workshop 16 and this is workshop 17. But the workshop over Christmas, we're making it. You make the book in the workshop. So you make the book in the workshop. You don't need to buy a book. You're going to make it. You're going to make the book. Honestly, that little bit is so painful. So when I stamp, it hurts when I stamp. But we get there. You just get through it, don't you? There's worse things. There's worse things. So does anybody else have any questions? Have I answered everything that you need to know? Have I answered everything about the stamp sets? Is there anything about the stamp sets that I haven't answered? Oh, thank you, Roz. I'm going to need good luck. There's a lot of shows. Tracy, is it just one A4 stamp? It is this time, Carol. In the one-day special, it's one A4. Hang on, what's the one-day? Yes, the one-day special is one A4. It's the pine cone. So just one A4 this time. But obviously, I'll have more coming. So if there's anything I haven't asked, I might have to ask for December workshop for my... Carol, don't feel pressurised into doing any of the workshops at all. Please don't feel pressurised. So you don't have to feel pressurised in doing the workshops at all. Did your internet go off, Olga? Oh dear. So did I answer everybody's questions? Oh, thank you, Kim. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. And thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you very much. So if there's anything I've missed about how the stamps are made, what the detail is, anything, just ask away. There's a lot of shows, Anne, so all as I'm grateful for is that you like them. So what is the composition of the one-day special in terms of sizes, please? Just a second, Lucy, I'll get that for you. Right, for Lucy, let me just get Lucy so Lucy knows what we've got. So for composition for the 1 day special, where's my, oh, there it is. So for composition for the 1 day special for Lucy, you've got an A4. Of course, I can show you them all. So the 1 day special is an A4, an A5 alphabet, an A6 background and an A7 background. That's your 1 day special. Okay? And with any purchase, you get the little A7 stamp set with the nest. You get the little stamp set with the nest for any purchase. Okay? But you get an A4 stamp set, an A5 stamp set, an A6 stamp set and an A7 stamp set. That's your 1 day special. And then the second bundle, you know the Hochanda always have a second bundle. They always have a second bundle, which makes up the complete bundle. So the second bundle is 2 A5 stamp sets, 2 A5 stamp sets and an A7 stamp set. So the complete bundle is all of them. The complete bundle is all of those stamp sets. The complete bundle is all those stamp sets. And if you buy the complete bundle, you then get this one free. That's $11.99. You get this one free, which is $11.99. My 1 day special ingot is this Friday, the 16th of October at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. But it's important that you know that I appreciate any support, even if you just like them. So this is the one that you get for the complete bundle. It's an A6 stamp, this is. So there you go. But I will be doing workshops on the whole lot. Even in one workshop, we use the whole lot so that you use them. I don't want them gathering dust. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. I'm just pleased you like them. But it's important to me that I've answered all your questions. It's important that I've answered all your questions. What was that? I buy SBC. What's SBC arnica by the litre? What is SBC arnica? Oh, no, Janet told me about that, yes. Oh, do you know, I'm useless. What am I like? So that gives you the complete bundle. Did I answer your question, Lucy? You can buy, you won't be able to, this is free on Hochanda for as long as it lasts. You'd have to message Abs whether this is available on its own. I think you can buy this, but I don't know when or what's happening or what. I'm not party to that information. I just know that when I go on Hochanda on Friday, that I can tell viewers that they get this free when they buy the complete bundle, which is $11.99. Oh, you need arnica. Somebody told me about that. Was it Lucy or Janet? One of you told me that I need to get that. So yes, but I love that stamp set. But yes, that's all the information. Do we need to save up for the November stamps too? Carol, you know what my answer to that is. I will never ever tell you or force you to buy any collection. But yes, in November I will have another collection. I will have a November collection. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I hope I've answered all your questions. So if I haven't, just drop me a line. Yes, it was Diane that told me about arnica. I knew somebody had told me about arnica. Oh, Diane, I'm losing the plot, Diane. My brain cells aren't working. So just a big thank you, everybody, for all your support. So thank you very much, everybody. Yes, November. Yes, I've got another release in November. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support. Thank you for staying with me. And thank you for listening to all my waffle. And thank you to Olga. Bye, everybody. Oh, just let me mention, Olga's here on Wednesday. I'm doing a YouTube with Olga on Wednesday to show Olga's designs on Wednesday. Just thought I'd mention that. Bye, everybody. Bye.